first thing we want to do is we want to create a new challenge. Let's put in a name. So we want, in this case, we want to download some external data. And we have to pass the path to an image. The same goes for the scoring image. So this is the component which will actually calculate the score. And we can also give some basic description about the challenge and also about the data. So let's pass that in. So this is passed as a markdown file. And let's submit. Okay. So now we have a list of our challenges. If we look at it, okay, we can see I created a challenge. In this case, for the demonstration, it's the iris classification problem that maybe many of you know. It's about classifying the flowers based on some simple features, like the sepal length and width. If we go to the data tab, you can see all the information that is needed to understand how the data looks like, what are the features for the train data set, what is the input data on the test data set that we have as a user, as a participant that we have to train on. And also, you can see our leaderboard, which at the moment is empty. Okay, let's submit a solution. We give it a name. We pass the path to our image. And you also pass the command to actually execute the submission code inside the container. Okay, so now we submitted it. And if we now go to the tab for the runs, we can see that the new run spawned. These two are some previous tests that I did. So if we now look into it, you can see the graph that I showed you before earlier. So let's wait a little bit until it runs through. And let's have an example look at how the code looks like. So first, for the downloader component, this is again something that the challenge maintainer, like the creator, has to provide. We pass in the output path for the training data and the test data for the user code. So in this case, we pass it as a command line argument. And the same, the output path to the ground truth data that we will eventually use for the evaluation and discovery. Then we prepare our data set, we write our train data frame, save it to the path that we got from Kubeflow Pipelines, and do the same for the ground truth data set, where we only have the ID of our entry row and the species. Okay, if we look at our pipeline, we can already see that it started the containers and went through. So we can see the download step is already finished. It created 2 open artifacts, and it was already running the user workload, so it was quite fast. Let's check out that one. So again, this is the submission part. So myself as a participant in the challenge would write the code. I would get the input path to the training data, and also the output path where I have to put my prediction file. Okay, so in this case, I read in the train data CSV, I get my usual features, I train a very simple random forest classifier. Then I read in the test data set, I pass in the features, I run my prediction, I create my prediction data frame, which consists of the entry row ID and the predicted class. And then I write down the CSV file to the specified output path. Okay, let's have a look. So this went through. You can see our output for the prediction. The next step is the evaluation. So again, this is the part that the challenge creator maintainer would create. And in this case, we get the input path to the prediction file where we have the prediction from the user. We also get the output path to the scoring file. So this is in the end where we will write down the scoring, in this case accuracy. It will also get the path, the input path to our ground truth labels. So in the next step, we read in the data from the user, we have the predictions, we also read in the ground truth labels, and then we just calculate the accuracy and see how well our user did in this case. And then we write down the score. And in this case, it's only one score, it's the accuracy on a prediction. And we can see it went through and created an output artifact for the scoring. Then in the last step, we report the score to the challenge backend. And if we now go back to our user interface and go onto the challenge, we should hopefully see a scoring for my user account.